everybody. Welcome to another lecture of English. This will be unit number 3, 3.2. The night I met Einstein. Now, I think everybody should be knowing who was Einstein. Einstein was a scientist, experts in physics. Just like science has different branches, physics, chemistry, biology, physics also has different branches. So he was expert in theoretical physics, some scientific term, theoretical physics. And when he was expert in theoretical physics, he had given a very good theory that is theory of relativity. That is theory of relativity. This is some knowledge I am giving you about Einstein. He also won a Nobel Prize in physics. But when you think that he was a scientist, you might be thinking he might be a very brilliant student, but that was not so. He was suffering from dyslexia. Now what exactly is dyslexia? You might have seen Tare Zameen Pe, how that child cannot identify from B or D. His writing was poor. So something of that sort. So he was very poor in studies, poor in writing. He was a scientist, somewhat he was an author also. He has written one book by the name of World as I See. So this was just a general knowledge question. This was a general knowledge question. We need not go into detail about it. No question might be asked about it. What exactly, what is being said in this particular chapter from the eyes of the author? We'll discuss who is the author, but let us take a small synopsis of the chapter, small introduction, what exactly is there in chapter. Now this author, the writer of this particular extract, the writer of this particular small essay, was invited by a hostess to a concert where music was to be played, and music was classical. There are different types of music, how there are different types of dance, so there are different of classical music. What exactly is classical music? You don't have any songs in that, you don't have any words in that, only tune is played. You might have seen Jugalbandi of tabla or Jugalbandi of violin and sitar. Only music is played. Such musics are called classical music. So this author was very poor in classical music. He did not understand the tones of classical music. Now we are good mathematicians, we are good in studies, so we are able to classify alphabets, we are able to classify science, we are able to classify geography, history, identify this particular will be history, this particular will be geography. Same way, those who study music, they are able to identify the pitches in the music, the high pitch, the low pitch. We are zero in that. Unless and until some student who might be studying music, so he or she might have some knowledge, but then we are very zero in particular music. We are not able to understand the high pitch of the music and the low pitch of the music. We are not able to understand the tone of that particular music. We are said to be tone deaf, those who can't hear. So we are tone deaf. We are not able to identify, even by hearing, which music is of high pitch, which music of low pitch. So this particular author had no idea about that pitch, so he was least interested in the concert, but due to respect, he was sitting there to hear the concert. And there was some, I am going to give you the full name afterwards, some batch was batch was batch was there who was playing that music. So by chance the author gets a seat just next to Einstein. And Einstein is an old person with a full of white hair. The textbook says shock of white hair, matlab such white hair that people might continue looking at it. That might attract them, peculiarity something. So the term has been said, shock of white hair. This Einstein had shock of white hair. So they start conversing. Einstein says that, do you know, Batch, the person who is playing classical music, the person identifies Einstein, the author identifies Einstein. So instead of avoiding it, he honestly says that he did not know who Batch was, and he was stone deaf. He could not identify the music. He was least interested in the music. So he says this honestly. And as Einstein, being a scientist, might overlook it. What he does, he takes the author to a different room, leaves the concert and takes the author to a different room, and asks author that what do you like in music? So author said, I like those music that has song in them. So Einstein asked, whose song do you like? He gave the name of particular singer. We just read it, and Einstein plays that particular singer song. After hearing it, he tells the author, the writer, to sing it. The writer sings it. Einstein says, you have heard him. After hearing him, you are singing it. It means that you are not tone deaf. After that, he makes him hear some classical music. And in the end, he explained to him that since you are zero in music, if you hear it properly, if you hear it and again, you might love this music, and don't call yourself being tone deaf. It is just like mathematics. At the start when you were taught addition and subtraction, you would not have loved it, but then when you got into it, when you studied it deeply, you studied mathematics. So just like mathematics, music is also there. You just have to go deep into it, study it, then you will be able to understand it. So he gives him some knowledge in that particular short span of time. He gives him some, Einstein gives him some knowledge about music, enlightens him about music, allows him to see the other good things in the world other than education, and making this author a happy man, brings him back to the concert and tells him, now you listen to Batch, you are going to love it. And surely from that particular meeting of just 3 to 5 minutes, the author becomes a changed man. What he thought that he could not understand music, what he thought that he was tone deaf, he started taking interest in that music. So one aspect of Einstein was shown here, that though we know Einstein as a scientist, a renowned scientist, great scientist in physics, but Einstein also had keen knowledge about music, keen knowledge about human beings, keen knowledge about how to respect a person, keen knowledge about how to talk to a person. So that's something, behavior of Einstein is also mentioned in that. So not making the lecture a bit lengthy, we go to the chapter itself. We take a brief introduction about the author, the writer. The name of the writer is Jerome Widman. an American playwright and novelist, writer of plays and writer of novels. In 1960, he won a Pulitzer Prize for his work. This is one of the literary prize given for his work. A musical drama was there that was titled Fiorello. He collaborated, he joined hands with George Abbott, Jerry Bosch and Sheldon Harnick for its music and lyrics. Instead of one person, there were three people, four people using their minds and creating some good music. His book I Can Get It For You Wholesale has also been used for a movie of the same name. So this is a small introduction of the writer. Now what exactly is there in that particular chapter I have already explained to you. So we might go through the lesson in a medium paced manner because I have already explained to you. If I find something tough, I'll re-explain to you. So when this paragraph, this particular story is written in first person through the eyes of Jerome Widman, you can say in an autobiographical manner. When I was very young, I was invited to dine at a house to have dinner. Okay? You say that you are dining, it means you are taking a supper of the night supper. In the afternoon you are taking lunch. When I was very young, I was invited to dine at a house of a philanthropist. Philanthropists are great people who have good amount of money, who give alms, charities to the poor people. Okay, such people, such donors, such helpers, such good Samaritans are called as philanthropists. After a wonderful dinner, our hostess, though the person who had invited them to dinner was a lady, therefore it is said hostess. If it would have been gents, they would have said host. So this hostess invited, after a wonderful dinner, our hostess took us to a large drawing room. Chairs were being arranged. I am arranging the chairs for a concert. She said that she was having a concert. What is a concert? A musical program that will be played on the stage. My hostess said, we are going to listen to a very good pianist. Pianist is a person who plays piano. तो खाना हो गया, खाने के बाद they are having a musical program and there will be a piano player on the stage, and the person who has invited them is a lady hostess. They invited them for a dinner. It is night time here, so there is a concert, a person who is going to play piano. Now everybody was happy. Chalo, let's have some enjoyment, let's have some concert. But what happens here? Though everyone else was very happy, I was not. I did not understand classical music. Bouncer, it goes over the head. I did not understand classical music. I thought I was tone deaf. I already explained to you what is the meaning of tone deaf. There are pitches in music: high pitch, low pitch, medium pitch. So we are not able to identify those pitches. Such person is called tone deaf. Though I was not loving music, loving the classical music, though I was tone deaf, what I did, I sat down so that I would not be impolite. If I leave the premises, if I leave the drawing room, the hostess might get offended. So in order to be polite, I sat down and waited for the concert to begin. I did not pay attention to the music after it began. The concert started and this author was not paying attention. His mind was somewhere else because he was not interested in music, because he was not understanding the music. After a while, I heard everyone clapping. So I realized that the piece was over. Piece means one part of the concert. You have a cake, full cake, you take one piece out, that is called a piece. So यहाँ पे concert था, concert there might have been a half an hour, 1 hour concert, but then एक 5-7 minutes का एक concert part खत्म हो गया. So that piece was over. Just then I heard a gentle but firm voice saying, somebody who was sitting nearby him. He said, "You are fond of Bach? Do you love Bach?" Bach, who is Bach? Bach is Johann Sebastian Bach, a German organist and a composer of 17th century. Okay, so his name, this big composer, this big pianist, his name was taken as a pet name by the person who was sitting next to him. That author also started clapping. So the person beside him says that he says, "Oh, do you also love Bach?" I knew as much about Bach as I knew about nuclear physics. Our author was also zero in science also. He was a good playwright. He was a good novelist, but he was zero in physics also. So he said that he had knowledge about Bach as much as he has knowledge about nuclear physics. Means he was zero in this particular Bach presentation, he was zero in nuclear physics also. That is what author meant to say. That I don't understand nuclear physics, I don't understand Bach also. But he did not say, that was in his mind. I was going to say something ordinary so that I could get out of the situation. कुछ भी बहाना बनाता मैं. I did not want to give any proper explanation. But what happened? I turned in order. I wanted to see who told me, who asked me, "Do you love Bach?" So I turned around. I turned in order to look at my neighbor and I saw a very famous face. It was someone with a shock of hair, totally white hair, looking peculiar. Somebody sees one time, so he would turn around and see it for the second time. I saw a very famous face. It was someone with a shock of white hair and a pipe. Old people, olden times, big people, even film stars used to not smoke cigarette, but they used to smoke pipe. That was something pipe type. They would put tobacco in that and then light it and then smoke it. So that is what is called pipe. I knew that I must tell this man the truth. The author identified that the person who is sitting next to me is not an ordinary man. And it is better that I speak truth to him. He might catch my lie. If I lie, this person is a very intelligent person, very renowned person. He might catch my lie, so I should be truthful. He looked at me. I knew that I must tell this man the truth. He looked at me as if my answer was very important. I do not know anything about Bach. I do not know anything about Bach, I said. I have never heard any of his music. He looked surprised. Who looked surprised? Einstein looked surprised. The author said, I don't understand Bach. I have never heard about his music. So Einstein was a bit surprised. You have never heard about Bach. Who is saying this? Einstein is it. तुमने Bach का नाम नहीं सुना है? Because Bach is also very important person. This particular person, Johann Sebastian Bach, is a very, very great composer of the 17th century. So you have not heard about it. Now his question was such surprising that as if he was saying that, did you not take bath today? आज तुमने नहाया नहीं? Something of that sort. He made it sound as if I had said that I had never taken a bath. I'd like to understand music. I would like to understand music so that I could understand Bach. I want to understand music. I want to understand Bach. But I am not able to because I am tone deaf. But I am not able to because I am not able to identify the pitch between the high pitch and the low pitch. Then Einstein got up, the old man got up. You will come up with me. You will come up with me, he asked. You will come up with me, he asked. I just remained seated. These are some simple English. So I need not repeat it again in something language. So you will come up with me, he asked. Einstein asked, you will come up with me? क्या मेरे साथ ऊपर आओगे? I just remained seated. I still was sitting in my chair. Then first there was a question, now there comes a request. I am requesting you to come with me, he said. He said again, please do come with me. I want to explain to you something. So, getting a request from such a renowned person, I could not resist it. The author could not resist it. So he went up with him. He took me to a room which had a gramophone in it. Gramophone is an instrument which plays music. Okay? Machine for playing recorded music. There is a small plate like disc is there, then some round type bonga type is there, something of this particular type, and then like this plate is here, the music is played here by the arrow, sound comes from here. So this is something gramophone. He took me to a room and which had a gramophone in it and asked, what kind of music do you like? Which type of music do you like? Well, I answered, I like songs that have words and the kind of music which I can follow the tune. There should be words in that particular music. गाने होना चाहिए. There should be words. And the kind of music which I can follow the tune. And such music should be there where I can understand the tune. He smiled and nodded. ठीक है. Obviously pleased. He nodded. Chalo. You like music where there are songs in it, where there are words in it, and you like music whose tone you understand. So let's play that. He smiled and nodded, obviously pleased. You can give me an example perhaps. Give me one singer's name. Give me one song whose tone you can follow. So he gives the name of one singer. I told him I like anything by Bing Crosby. Now Bing Crosby is an American singer and actor also. Okay? Bing Crosby. When the author said he loved music about Bing Crosby, what Einstein did, he took out songs of Bing Crosby, searched it from his collection, and then he started playing Bing Crosby on his gramophone. At once, I could hear Bing Crosby's voice filling the room. In one line, it has been explained that from the collection of music, Einstein took out Bing Crosby and started playing it. At once, I could hear Crosby's voice filling the room. When I am giving a lecture, my voice is filling the room. That is what is being meant to say. Everybody sitting as an audience, or everybody who might be a student sitting here, are able to hear me. That is, my voice is filling the room. Now, can you please tell me what you just heard? After the song was over, Einstein asked him कि अब बताओ तुमने क्या सुना? Now, can you please tell me what you just heard? What did you hear? So instead of telling what he heard, the simplest way was to sing back. There was a song going on a gramophone. That was author's favorite song, favorite singer. So author might be knowing these songs beforehand. So in reply to the question of Einstein that what exactly did author hear, author started singing that particular song. The simplest answer seemed to be to sing the lines. So I sung back to him. He smiled. Einstein smiled. You are not tone deaf. You are able to understand the tone. You are not tone deaf, he said. I told him that this was one of my favorite songs. I told him that it was one of my favorite songs, something I had heard hundreds of times, so it didn't really prove anything. This was a song I am hearing for the past many years. This song is one of my favorite songs. This song I heard it once right now, so it's nothing new. I was able to sing properly because I have heard this song many times. Nonsense, says Einstein. It proves everything. I called you from down the drawing room to upstairs only to prove this. To prove what? That you are not tone deaf. You are assuming yourself to be tone deaf. Now try to understand what I am saying. Nonsense. It proves everything. Do you remember your first arithmetic lesson in school? Suppose at your very first contact with numbers, your very first introduction with numbers, your very first studies with the numbers, your teacher had ordered you to work out a problem in, say, long division or fraction. Could you have done it? The teacher is teaching you 1, 2, 3, 4. She is teaching you how to write the numbers. And if teacher says you now teach me addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, are you going to do it? You are learning the numbers. You are learning to identify 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You are learning to write the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I cannot tell you that instead of learning the numbers, you go and add, you go and subtract, you go and multiply. You will not be able to do that. Okay? So, what does the author says? No, of course not. You are teaching me numbers and then I'm still learning numbers and you tell me to add, subtract. I will not be able to do it. So what does Einstein say? Exactly. It is like learning maths. Understanding music is also like learning maths. You have to learn addition and subtraction in order to do multiplication and division. Now I am playing something a little more advanced. Learning music is just like learning mathematics. You now heard basics now. Now I am going to make you hear, make you understand some advanced music. Some advanced music. So now we have another singer, John McCormack. Very sorry for my pronunciation. So it was John McCormack singing. The trumpeter, sing that back, he ordered. So first what? There was a song of Bing Crosby. Author heard it. Author had heard it many times. When Einstein asked, "What did you hear?" Author started singing that song. Now a little more advanced music by John McCormack was played. And after playing, Einstein says, "Now sing me back." And we went on from level to higher level until he was playing just music without words. He made him sing about this John. He sang. Then he played another music of higher level and told him, "Did you understand?" "I understood it." Then little more higher level. Then asked, "Did you understand?" So they were moving from that musical level, from a lower level to a higher level, and he was making me understand. And then he switched on to a music without song. Then he switched on to music without song, that he moved to a very high level of music, that is classical music without words. As we went from level to higher level until he was playing just music without words, I was amazed that this great man was paying complete attention to me so that I could learn something new. I was surprised. I was excited that this particular man, this particular renowned scientist, was taking so much interest in me that he wanted me to study music in a very small time. The music which I could not understand, he was making me understand this music by taking personal interest in me. I was amazed that this great man was paying complete attention to me so that I could learn something new. It was as if I was the most important person in his world. The author was the student. Einstein was teacher here, and the teacher was paying attention to the student in such a way that this particular student was very special to him in this world. Suddenly he got up and turned off the gramophone. Slow music, then high music, then high music, then music without songs, then to classical music. Everything was played and everything was being made to understand, and finally Einstein got up and switched off the gramophone. "Now, young man," he said, "we are ready to listen to Bach." "Okay, your studies are complete, sir. Now come down with me. We are again going to listen to Bach. Come down with me." We went down and sat in the hall. "Just allow yourself to listen," he said. "That's all there is to it. Just pay attention to that. Just give your ears to the music. Just concentrate on the music. That is what I want you to do. And slowly you will be able to understand it. You will be able to enjoy it. That's all there is to it. That is all there. Give your ears to it. Try to understand it. Pay attention to it. automatically you are going to enjoy it. I have heard that piece many times since that day. From that day onwards, I heard that piece of music of Bach many times during the coming days. Again and again I heard it. But I am never alone. I am sitting beside a small man with a shock of untidy hair and a pipe in the mouth. And whenever I am hearing it, I am hearing this music, this piece of classical music by Bach many times since that day, many times since that following days. But whenever I am hearing, I am not alone. Physically, Einstein is not present with him, but he is thinking that whenever he is hearing that particular piece of music by Bach, again and again during the following days, he feels that he is sitting in the company of an old man with shocking hair and a pipe in the mouth. He is feeling that Einstein is sitting near him. He is feeling that Einstein is sitting near him. He has eyes that are unusually warm. Concentrating eyes with a good gaze. Whenever somebody might look into it, particular person has to say the truth. And with that particular eyes, if he questions something, if he requests something, if he teaches something, people do understand. When the concert ended, so this was something which he was doing after the concert ended, but the present story continues. When the concert ended, I too was able to clap sincerely, honestly, samajhdari se. Not that people were clapping, I was also clapping, but I also somewhat enjoyed that particular piece of music by Bach, and I was also clapping, sincerely clapping, that I had understood somewhat. Our hostess came towards us. We both stood up. The lady who had invited them to dinner, the lady who had arranged for a concert, after the concert gets over, she comes over to both of them. Both of them get up in respect. Why she came there? Because she had a keen eye. She saw that these two persons were missing for a considerable period of time during the concert. I am so sorry, Dr. Einstein, she said, giving me a cold look, that you missed so much. She knew that Einstein had gone upstairs along with this particular author. So this is what she said. I am so sorry, Dr. Einstein, she said, giving me a cold look, that you missed so much. Cold look was given to author. She knew that something was amiss here, something was missing in this particular author, and because of this author, Einstein had gone up. I am so sorry too, he said. Einstein also sends his apologies. I am sorry too, he said. My young friend here, who is the young friend? It is the author. My young friend here and I, however, were engaged in the greatest activity of which human being is capable. Your music was beautiful. The pieces of Bach that he played again and again was very beautiful. But what happened upstairs was that we were engaged in a conversation which was a great activity human being is capable. I was trying to make him understand and he was paying attention to what I was making him understand, and there was a great bond being created between two human beings, and I was trying to share some knowledge with him. I was trying to enlighten this particular person. I was trying to teach this particular person something new which he was not confident about, which he thought that he would never understand in his life. So there was a mutual conversation between us, between which can understand only between two good human beings, which can happen only two good human beings. So he said, my young friend here and I, however, were engaged, we were speaking, we were conversing, we were talking, we were exchanging our ideas, we were engaged in the greatest activity of which a human being is capable. She looked puzzled. ऐसा क्या बात कर रहे थे? So she had a question mark on her face. She looked puzzled. Really, she said, and what is that? What was so important that you all were conversing that you had to leave such a beautiful concert and go up? Einstein smiled and put his arm across my shoulders. Einstein smiled and put his arm across the shoulder of the author. Opening up the frontiers of beauty. Opening up the frontiers of beauty. There are many beautiful things in life. Music is also one of the beautiful things in life. And if a person is not able to visualize this beauty, if a person is not able to understand this beauty, and if a person is not able to hear this beauty, so I was teaching him that opening another frontier, opening another gate, making one more person understand music, making one more person understand the beauty of this nature. There are many beautiful things. There are movies, there is nature, there are books, there are studies, there are plays, there are poems, and there is music. So if a person was having some shortcomings in understanding music, I was enlightening him, I was bringing him into those people that who appreciate music. So Einstein smiled and put his arm across my shoulders and said, opening up the frontiers of the beauty. Fine. Thank you very much. The chapter was very, very easy. Go through it. You will be understanding it very nicely. The questions are very, very easy, so you can answer it. Thank you.